Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I am Arif, your cloud learning journey partner. Well, today's video is very special because in today's video, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna list down all the things that you need to become a cloud engineer. So maybe you have finished your studies, now you are looking for careers and you are looking into this profession like cloud engineer, but you are not quite aware that like what skill set is required to become a cloud engineer, or you are in your mid career and you want to make a transition and you need some information, and this video will definitely help you with that. So before starting the video, I'm just want to talk about my background. Well, I do have more than 8 years of experience in cloud computing environment. So I do have certification in AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. So yes, I have worked with multiple companies related to cloud. I've worked as a cloud engineer. I have worked as a cloud solutions architect, cloud security engineer. So I will try my best to actually list down all the skills that really help me to become a better cloud engineer. So please watch this video till the end. If you really interested in cloud computing and you want to make a career out of it, this video is definitely for you. Before I start the video, one request from mine, that is please like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm planning to upload videos more frequently basis related to cloud computing, cybersecurity, cloud security, and also certification paths. So if you are interested in this career field, this channel will definitely help you to grow. So without further delay, let's get started. Okay, first we will just go through a brief description like what is cloud computing, because first you really need to know like what are the basic stuff in cloud computing. So whenever we deploy an application in a server or a web application, then we need previously in traditional way, we need to have a whole server rack with servers, the network configuration, the switch and hub and everything. So we have to do the manual stuff, and it was hectic to manage and a lot of dependencies. What if our server is down? That means our application is down, right? It's very hectic to manage all this stuff. But now the good thing is that now we do have cloud computing. So what is cloud computing? At the back end, we are also using servers and everything, but we are not owning the servers. We are renting it. We are pay as a demand basis. So there are three main key players in cloud computing era. One is AWS, the leader. Second, Microsoft Azure, and third is Google Cloud. So whenever we are talking about a cloud provider, we are mainly focusing on these three, because these three are the leaders. And if you know one of these cloud, you can easily learn the other clouds. That's great. And when we are deploying our application on the cloud, then the good part is that we will have less downtime. We'll have less infrastructure to manage. We can focus more on our application part. So in this way, our productivity level increases. So cloud computing is the best thing that ever happened. In the second part of this video, I'm going to talk about the essential skills that we must have to have as a cloud engineer. So I am working with cloud technologies for more than 8 years. So these are the things I truly believe, like if you know these skill sets, then you will definitely be a very good cloud engineer. So the first thing is that networking knowledge, because whatever we deploy on cloud, we really need to set the infrastructure in network. We really need to know like how to create a virtual private cloud. We really need to know like what is subnet, what is an internet gateway, what is a route table. So the basic understanding, even though it's all virtualized thing, but it's still you need to know that how things are working and collaborating with each other. So networking is one of the most important thing to know as a cloud engineer. The second important thing to know as a cloud engineer is a programming language, because nowadays we are moving towards the serverless architecture. In serverless architecture, pretty much like we are not using the servers anymore, because it's cheaper in that way, it's event driven, and there is less downtime. So that's why we really like the serverless architecture framework nowadays. And for that, we really need to know the programming languages. If you ask me like what language I should learn, so from my understanding now, if you know Python, then it's really good. as a cloud engineer. So focus on learning programming language. For my suggestion would be learn Python. The third thing that will help you to become a better cloud engineer is that containerization and virtualization knowledge. So nowadays, most of the applications are built on virtualization concept. So you need a Docker environment. You can just pull up the image from the hub, and you can run your application. So it's very vital to know that stuff like containerization, the basic stuff. It will help you a lot in your cloud related jobs. The last thing that I want to add is that security. First, general security, and then the security aspect of cloud. Look, whenever a company is moving their data, their sensitive data to the cloud, their main concern is that whether our data is secure, whether it has all the security controls that we had previously in our own environment. So for that reason, we really need to make sure that we are protecting our data. For instance, when you're transferring data, we need to make sure our data is secure in transit. Then when we're storing our data, we need to make sure that our data is secure at rest. So in every step, for every services, we need to know the security part. For instance, in AWS, for every single services, you really need to know like how to secure that service, how to make sure that your application or your infrastructure has the least privileged access. So in this way, you will become a very good cloud engineer. In the third part of this video, we're going to talk about the learning path and certification. So you made your mind that like you really want to be a cloud engineer. So what's your learning path? So my suggestion to you would be definitely go for the certification, because whenever you're going for a certification, any vendor specific certification, then you will really learn the core thing about the service or the cloud vendor. So at the very beginning of the video, I told like for cloud, we do have three key players: AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. So if you ask me which cloud provider should I start with, my suggestion to you would be AWS. At the back end, you can see I do have more AWS certification comparing to other cloud providers, because look, AWS is the leader of cloud community, cloud provider. And if you know cloud computing by learning AWS, that means you have the best knowledge in terms of the cloud era. And once you learn AWS pretty well, then you can easily move to another cloud. It's just like learning programming languages. Once you know C, you can easily move to C++, C#, and likewise other programming languages. So it's the same concept. So my suggestion to you would be start with AWS. I have made previous videos related how you can start your AWS certification journey. So if you really want to know that, please look for my other videos, look into my other videos where I have explained the total AWS certification path. So after certification, then the next important thing is that the hands-on experience. I can't explain how important it is to actually go through the services and everything from the console. Because in cloud environment, for everything we do have different sort of services. We really need to know like how to integrate multiple services together to come up with a solution to create an architecture. So for that, you really need to know like how the ins and out of every services. You need to know how to configure services together, how to do the troubleshooting part. So please, whenever you have time, log into the console, the cloud console, and start playing. It's just think like it's a game. I think like this. Whenever if I get some free time, I always love to actually do some cool stuff with this console, or maybe from the CLI. So that's my suggestion to you. In the fourth part of this video, I'm going to talk about the importance of building a portfolio and networking. Well, once you have a good understanding and good knowledge about cloud computing services, like you have gone through some certification of AWS, now the next step is to actually create a portfolio. How are you going to create portfolio? Maybe you can create an application framework using multiple AWS services, and you can save it somewhere as a portfolio. So in this way, whenever you are going for a job interview, you can show them like, yes, I have already worked on it, and this is some project I have worked on, and you can look into it. So in this way, you are proving yourself. You're not just saying words. You have a proof that you are very good cloud engineer because you have built this thing from scratch. That's one thing. And the second thing is that the networking part. So once you are in a good state of learning, now you know stuff like related to cloud computing, then I would highly recommend you to join groups like maybe AWS group, Google Cloud group, Azure group. There are tons of groups on LinkedIn and other platforms. To join there every day, try to spend at least like 30 minutes of your time to scroll down all the posts that you can see from there. In this way, you are learning and you're also engaging with them to know like what's happening new with this new cloud era. So it will help you to become a really good cloud engineer because you are all up to date. And now there you have it, the complete formula to become a very good cloud engineer. So remember one thing, that being a cloud engineer, you really need to spend time. You really need to invest your time. You need to learn a tons of stuff. You have to do the hands-on work. And in the long term, it will definitely pay off. If I share my journey, when I started my career in cloud computing, I was earning near around like $200 or something in a monthly basis. So it was like very low at a point, but I kept learning, and now I have a decent job. I'm making more than six figure. So it's all great, but what only thing that helped me in this whole journey is that I kept learning. I kept pushing myself. Every now and then I'm going for the certification because I really want to learn. So if you have this habit like learning, you are really curious. You're not just learning to get some money. You are passionate about it. Be passionate about it, and it will help you to get your goal. So that's my suggestion. Thank you so much guys for watching my videos. It means a lot to me. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel for my upcoming videos. And if you have any question or concerns, please feel free to let me know under this comment section, and I'm gonna reply back very soon. That's all for today. Have a great and wonderful day.